Man, I just thinking about Nicolas Cage because I just had to check it. I'm like, he's never been on like a Joe Rogan type podcast. Like, I think that would be awesome to see
That
a
would be
Nicolas
awesome.
Cage interview.
That dude.
I mean, John Travolta would be awesome too, but Nicolas Cage is like just different.
Yeah. I
Like
mean,
it's like Nicolas Cage, Johnny Depp, those type of people. Like, yeah,
okay, Johnny Depp. I've seen Johnny Depp is a horrible interview. He's shy. That's the problem. And he is shy. And
but you
so
gotta let him smoke.
when he comes in for an interview, he doesn't say much. I don't know about now, but I've seen him interviewing the Tonight Show and stuff. Man,
I
he's
mean, those that's tonight. Like, I'm talking about like long form type
oh,
interviews.
maybe.
Because I mean, I like okay, those type of interviews I can get that, but I seen him on Inside the Actor Studio.
Mm,
That was an amazing
was it
interview.
really
Heck yeah,
Johnny Depp?
yeah. The
Dude,
dude let him smoke, and they got the guy talked to him about movies where
dude,
it's just like,
what
man,
is crazy is that you watch an interview with Johnny Depp, and most people freak out because he's not British.
oh yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, he just got this random
you,
accent
you kind
though.
of expect it. You kind of expect. I mean, freaking Jack Sparrow, right?
Yeah.
But no, he is not British. He is just. He's an American.
You
He's
know, you know what? He might have created some accent for himself. Like, all right, this is how Johnny Depp. This is how Johnny Depp talks. He probably talks totally
actually
different in real life.
kind of. He Johnny Depp when he talks, he tries to enunciate. He really tries to speak slowly
Yeah.
and kind of enunciate what he's saying. Nicolas Cage is frenetic. When you see
Uh,
interviews with Nicolas Cage, he's everywhere. He's frenetic in his interviews.
wait, you seen him be interviewed?
Nick Cage, yeah,
I
he's
mean, like not small interview, but like a long form one.
no, not a long form one.
Wow.
When Nicolas Cage is excited about everything he talks about. That's the thing, and he uses his hands a lot, so he's moving the entire time. It's hard to, yeah. So I could just imagine him on set. You know, he has to fight to keep his mark, right? Because
Oh
Nicolas
yeah,
Cage in real life is just constantly moving.
I can see that.
Yeah, he's the Coppolas are Italian. I mean, like let's get into stereotypes and like Italians, like they talk with their hands, right? That's what Nick
Yeah.
Cage is. He's a Coppola. He's an Italian guy, so that's really what he is. But he's crazy. So Nick
Wow.
Cage, yeah, I've never. That would be it'd be awesome to see him on a Joe Rogan interview.
Yeah. I think it'll be awesome seeing on that. Like a person who I'm I always liked him, but I'm starting to really respect him. Vlad TV
Hmm.
because he digs deep. Like if he's going to interview anybody, he's going to start from day one all and get all the way up to now.
Okay.
Like and it's with everybody. I think it's just a different form because you can tell like Joe Rogan has his style, Vlad has his style, and it's particular.
Joe Rogan style is. I mean, actually, that would be really interesting to see Nicolas Cage on Joe Rogan, because
I think he could do it.
Nicolas Cage is an interview that you don't have to prompt. Nicolas Cage will just go off, right? And which
Yeah,
is unusual though, because a Joe Rogan interview is mostly Joe Rogan talking, right? Joe
it's
Rogan
mostly Joe Rogan talking.
he at least has 50-50 talk time with his guests, at least.
He does have
At
50-50 up.
least. And normally he has more talk time than his guest does. Normally. Right? If you watch a
I can
Joe
see
Rogan
that.
interview, yeah, because every topic he discusses, I don't know if he's researched it or if he just knows it naturally, but Joe Rogan knows a lot of crap, right?
But I think it's also because Joe Rogan a lot of times he's not really interviewing A listers, B listers,
Yes,
or
that's true.
sometimes he's interviewing some people like, who is this guy?
Yeah, I mean, he interviews people because of topics,
Yeah,
like he'll get. So before Jordan Peterson was a big thing, and you guys are aware who Jordan Peterson is?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I would consider him a philosopher, right,
Well,
or
see,
something like that.
Jordan Peterson's a college professor,
Yeah,
but Jordan Peterson's famous for being a college professor who use would not use pronouns. That was his whole thing. That's why he became famous. He was the guy who was protesting pronouns and he's
like calling people Mister or
no like
calling
people
somebody.
like calling them they them.
Oh
He
yeah, I'm not calling nobody they
Yeah,
them
he
either.
refused to do the they them, or if it's a woman, call her he him, right? He
Not calling
refused
you
to
none
that.
of
He's
that.
like, I'm not doing that. I look at you and what you are, I'm calling you that, if at
Yeah.
all. I can call you dude maybe if I want to,
Yep.
but he refused
What's
to
up,
run with
man?
that. So he's basically the anti woke professor, right?
Shout out to him.
And so Rogan had him on early on before. I mean,
He
it's
interviewed
kind of,
him a couple times.
yeah, he had him on. He has him on a lot actually because they agree on a lot of things.
Mm.
Like remember when what was her name? Is it what Bad Baby? What
Yeah.
Bagoli? What was her original name? She was in
The
Doctor
Cash Me
Phil.
Outside girl.
Yeah, the Cash Me Outside girl,
Yeah,
right?
she ain't no bad baby. She's Cash Me Outside girl for the rest of her life. I don't care
For
what
your life,
nobody.
okay. So, but the thing about her is that when when she first came out on Doctor Phil, she had that 15 minute of fame moment, right?
Yep.
And getting an interview with her right after Dr. Phil is kind of like when Rogan had Peterson on. When Peterson was
Mm.
just making waves and he may have faded into obscurity or he may have done what he did and stay relevant, right? So
Mm.
Rogan had him on before he was a thing, right? Is he going to stay relevant or not? He was just a news blip at the time.
Mm.
Rogan had him on. So when Rogan had him on, he wasn't really anybody beyond that 15 minute of fame yet. So
Uh,
he brings on people that are not famous, but they're famous for something within a
yeah.
topic.
They're famous in their own little
Yeah,
right, in
within a
their own
topic,
world.
So he brings them on. He'll bring on an expert in something just to talk about it.
Yeah. Like one recent person I see him, he brings on Ian Edwards. Ian Edwards is like a comedian's comedian. Like if you're a good comedian, you know who Ian
Okay.
Edwards is. But the masses,
Don't know
like
who
you
he
probably
is.
this is probably the first time you heard about
It
Ian
is the
Edwards.
first time I heard that name.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ian Edwards is the truth. But and he interviews them all the time where I already know they talking about comedy.
Okay.
You know, I might tune in just to see if they're gonna make me laugh. Ian gonna make me laugh. Ian is a person where like it's never been a time I've seen this guy and he didn't make me laugh.
I remember one time Joe Rogan had on this Asian lady. She was a I forget what she is. I think she's something. She's an expert in the field of sex in some way. I can't remember
Uh
why, but like from a an academic standpoint, I think
hmm
she's a writer, and he had her on, and she doesn't do a lot. I don't think she does a lot of interviews. So the thing about Joe Rogan is he gets guests who are not used to being interviewed, right?
Yeah.
And so sometimes they don't have a lot to say,
Uh-huh.
or sometimes they do, but you have to coax it out of them.
Yeah.
And Joe Rogan basically, if he gets a guest that doesn't have a lot to say, Joe Rogan will say a lot. I mean, he'll reference stuff that they said for them,
Uh-huh.
right? So he really knows how to draw an interview out if the person is not that open,
True.
right? Yeah, that's his. But could you imagine Nick Cage on the Joe Rogan podcast? Nicholas
I think
Cage
it will be
needs,
I think it'll get more views than Trump.
yeah. I mean, he needs no prompting, but that'll be funny. It'll be almost like it will be Joe Rogan and Nicholas Cage trying to beat each other out of airtime.
Yeah.
Think about it, right? I mean, because Joe Rogan normally gets free reign to talk as much as he wants, right? Because his guests don't have that much to throw out there. But bringing Nicolas Cage in there, Nicolas Cage will throw anecdotes at you like left. I mean, he just nonstop, right? And that'll be interesting to watch.
You know what's crazy? Joe Rogan don't do interviews, huh? You can't interview Joe Rogan.
No, you're right. I've never seen him. Maybe I'm not looking.
I think like I've heard that he rarely does interviews. Then when you really think about it, it's like, well, who could interview Joe Rogan? You know, because I like today, right? I just saw the clip. I didn't watch, but like there's a clip where Kamala Harris was saying that that's what she regretted. She regretted not going
Like
to
going
Joe
to Joe
Rogan.
Rogan? Okay.
Whereas like you probably should have, but she said her team told her not to. And it's like, is he really that powerful? You know what I'm
Well,
saying? And he really is at a certain when
I
you really
mean,
think about it.
they credit him for getting Trump out in front of the younger crowd. If you really think about it. I mean, think about that. Going on Joe Rogan gets you because they're not necessarily the younger crowd. I mean, there's young people, there's people of all ages, right? But going in front of Joe Rogan gets you in front of the skeptic crowd. Like Joe Rogan fans are a lot of people who don't believe in traditional thing. I mean, like they have a lot of alternate ways of thinking. Those fans,
Right.
right? And I mean, Joe Rogan fans also are pretty deeply American.
Yeah.
All right,
Don't he got a flag on his freaking logo?
he does,
His
yeah,
name's Joe.
yeah. I mean, he's so getting in front of Joe Rogan's it's a big thing. It's a good idea. If you
Mm,
and that's what I tell people I consult for. It's like, you gotta understand the market, you gotta understand the platform, you gotta give it what it wants,
true.
right? And the thing about okay, so people trying to break into YouTube today, we talked earlier about YouTube, the monetization of it diminishing, right? But it's still an incredible way to make money.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, maybe the times of crazy monetization are gone, right? The times where a person can bust in there and suddenly make millions overnight. But it's still a better paycheck than you'll get most other places for very little work if you do it right.
Right.
Okay, and the thing about you have to understand, YouTube has its fans and its detractors. All social media does. Okay,
Hmm.
social media ain't going nowhere. Social media is here to stay.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
it's out of the box. There ain't no putting it back in.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah. Only thing it's
it's
gonna
out
do is
there.
advance. I
Yeah,
mean, evolve. I'm sorry.
it's going to evolve. It's going to change, but it's out there. And I've maybe Quentin, you can find this. A notable person. I don't know if they're a politician, if they're an educator, if they are a philosopher. Somebody said this. Basically, they they look at social media and things like YouTube as it's bad for society because it it, it erodes messages. That's what they think.
It does
Because
erode messages, but
because
it's not bad for
in the
society.
past, the only people who could get their message out there were qualified people,
No.
right? If a qualified person, if a person want to get a message, I mean, like, when you want to know about a subject, so if you want somebody to to talk about a subject, a news station or a journalistic outlet would look for experts in that field and ask them questions. So
True.
the only opinions, the only information you get about a subject would be from journalists talking to experts, right? Now, what YouTube allowed to happen was anybody could weigh in on anything they wanted.
Yeah. I mean, but the only thing is like to the contrary of the whole a qualified person. Just because he's qualified doesn't mean he's telling you the truth.
True, but
And
but
and that's why I disagree with his statement. Like I feel like because it opened up. I mean, the only thing is like I understand it does erode the messages. I'm going to agree with that. But if you have discernment and you know how to filter out the right information from the wrong information, where I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I'm still getting better at it. I still have been wrong about certain things.
yeah. See,
I'm
but
listening to
Raymond,
people.
I'm cutting there. Here's the problem, though. Okay,
Well,
you're making the assumption that the average person out there
yeah,
has a certain level of intelligence that they don't,
and
right?
you're absolutely right about
See, that's
that.
the problem. Okay, this is going to sound horrible, right? But the majority of this country needs its information filtered before it's given to them, because I mean, you can't assume a certain level of intelligence
No, and you know
of the
what? It's true.
public.
It's just like the food shortage. I'm
Hmm.
telling you, people really think Donald Trump took people's EBT away.
That's what they're saying. I mean, and that's the thing. It's spinning it. I mean, it's about spinning things, right?
Yeah,
So the point of whoever said this is that okay. So it's when they put information out, it's not necessarily lies. It's spin,
right.
right? You can, like, for example, right now I am crafting a script for an elevator pitch regarding what's a California, I forget, it's a policy or a law, whatever it is. Basically, I forget what it is, but basically it mandated minimum numbers of a minimum ratio of nurses to patients. So
Mm-hmm.
California has a minimum ratio of 1 to 5. For every 5 patients, there's one nurse, right? Minimum. Okay. And there are people putting out information pro and con on this subject, right? And depends on how you spin it, you can make it look bad or you can make it look good. Okay? And everything about it is true. The stuff making it look bad is true. The stuff making it look good is true, but from a different angle. Okay, so it's all about the spin you put on something, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you want, so let's say you're a journalistic outlet and you want to talk about a certain subject and you want a certain spin on it, you know who to come to. Okay, this
Right.
guy knows about that subject and he will talk about it from this angle. This guy also knows about that subject and come from another. So depending on, so like, the experts that you approach have their own angle,
Mm-hmm.
right? But what they're saying to you is right. It's correct, but they're sometimes leave out aspects of it. Okay.
Yes.
Now, thing about it's this: when you get anybody and their mother being able to talk about the same thing. Okay, so when you're on YouTube or on social, right? A lot of times we don't get some of the wackier stuff in our feeds because this is what we do for a living, and our feeds promote larger creators typically, and the angles that come in, like, they're more intelligent. But there's
Mm-hmm.
all sorts of people out there, like Raymond had mentioned, that they're saying, what they're saying. Trump's taking away people's EBT.